Okay, time to get started. Let's see what we can do here. Right, this is a carry-on of last lesson, number 6, where we did 1 star. We're going to update it now to 128 stars, still using the same simple graphic stuff using BASIC. We're going to just modify the program we did last time, add some instructions to it, and have 128 stars at one time. So let's take a look at the code. Okay, and it's mostly the same code that you did last time. I hope you typed it in and got it running and everything worked fine. All this part here is with the common, no changes to it, just exactly the same. All this stuff is the same till we get down here. Now what I tried to do, and I don't know if I did it correctly on all of them, but if you notice, it's out here on the end of the lines, I put this version 1.1, and that's where I made some changes. So hopefully I got all the lines so you'll be able to upgrade yours without retyping everything. Like on this line here, I added this line length of 160. Everything else is the same till we get here, and I put these 3 lines. The first line was cosmetic. Instead of having star, I made it stars, plural, because we are going to do more than 1 star now. And I put where the end of the star field is. Okay, it's going to be, to get 128 stars, it would be a plus hex 1 FF. And we need a star count. So we take the end of the stars minus the beginning of the stars divided by 4, because remember our star object was 4 bytes long. And that will give us a grand total over here where it's compiled of hex 80, which is also a 128. Notice here's the beginning of our screen, 400, and the end of our screen is 5FF. That is the 32 character screen. We're going to use that whole screen while we're doing this now. So on down through here, all the same. Here we see a change. Okay, again, I'm cosmetic. Instead of star, I made it stars, plural. Here's where we built our one object last time. We're going to build 128 of them in here. And last time we had to just compare it to the end of the screen. Remember I went through great lengths last time explaining how a star could go in one line and jump to another line based on where we started at. So to avoid jumping off the screen at the top or the bottom, I added the end of the screen minus 1 line. That's why I added the line length at the top. So it's the end of the screen minus 1 line. And also at the top of the screen, I added plus 1. So we'll get to the top of the screen plus 1 line. So it's in between them, that range there that we'll get our star. Exact same thing. We'll get our address, we'll get our movement, we'll get our color, and we'll store that. So here we'll store our address, we'll store our speed and color. And on them, both of them we bump by 2, so we're pointing now to the next object. So here's some new instructions. We'll compare where our pointer is sitting now. If it's at the end of the star field plus 1, if it's not equal to that, we're not done. Go back to the loop here again and come through and build another star. Take a quick look here at, remember our object was 4 bytes, address, color, and speed. If we bump it, building it, we're sitting right here, or look at the second one, we'd be sitting right here to start building a second one, the third one, so on and so forth. Okay, so that's what this here is about. We're just doing a loop here, building 128 of them. As soon as we get to the end of that star field, we drop through, and the same thing here. Okay, again, cosmetic, called move stars instead of move star. All this delay stuff is all the same. Now, note here, version 1.1, from here down to 1.1 end is different. So it starts here and ends down here. Their code could be different in the middle here, so you may have to retype this in. We'll load up our beginning of our star field, load up our count. Remember our count, it was up at the beginning, 128 in the register A. We'll push A. I don't recall if we talked about push and pull. But anyway, pushing it is putting it on the stack, okay, which is like a temporary storage. So we're going to put the count in there and store it for temporarily. We're going to do a branch subroutine to our star loop, which we'll look at in a second. When we come back from that subroutine, we'll decrement by 1 the value we just put on the stack. It is A, we push it there. We're going to comma S, we're going to dec by 1. So we start at 128, now we have 127. Okay, the instruction, your branch not equal. It's not equal to 0, so branch to again, we'll go to again. Go to the star loop, we'll go through until we get through all 128. We'll keep doing that loop. We're done. We'll pull. Now, I don't believe we did this, but we're going to pull off the stack. Excuse me. A, we pushed A, we got to pull it, and then also this here's maybe another one, PC, which stands for the program counter. Now, we could code this here, pull S, because we always got to, anything you push something under, you got to pull it back. This PC, we could not put that. We could put another instruction in there, like RTS, return from sub. We could have that instruction there, but with the pull, it will, it only saves 1 byte, but it's space and less instructions. So we just use the pull. It will pull the A, and then it will pull the PC in that order, and that PC is the program counter, which means return sub. Down here is our star loop, which is like we did it last time. If you recollect, we talked about all that confusing stuff of clearing it, and loading and bumping and that. It has a change in there. Before, I think I had $$9F, which was the length of the line. I changed it to line length -1, which still compiles out at 9F. I believe it come up right. Yeah, so here we still see it's 9F. And the only reason I did that, that's a better way of doing things when you're coding. If we wanted to change this to a different screen size, say 256 by 192, 16 color, all we have to do is change the top and everything would fall in place. This line length and all the stuff would fall in place for 256Y instead of 320. So we'd have to change one thing, recompile it, and run it on a different screen. And here was the end, so all the rest of that's the same. And from here on down to the bottom, I'll go through here kind of slow in case you didn't get it, because I'm not going to, you'll have to retype stuff. Okay, it's all the same, not a bit of change. So there really wasn't a lot of change in there to go from 1 star to 128. So I think I marked most of them with that 1.1 at the end, but you have to check it yourself in case I mix some. So let's take a look at, if I can here. There we go. Okay, I already got it loaded up, so let's take a look and see what we've got now. Voila, 128 stars. Going left to right, different colors and all different speeds. So that's what we accomplished by changing them half a dozen or so instructions. Okay, so you'll have to update what you already typed in with the new stuff and run it, and it should work okay. And again, hit Q to end it. Okay, what I want to do now is, this is going to be short. Last time's was very, very long, but we covered lots of new things. We covered random. We covered all sorts of new stuff. This one here, not cover much new stuff, just change what we had. What we're going to look for is, I'm going to load up, oh, I missed it. This is what we're going to try to get to, possibly the next one. We're going to still work with our stars, okay? We're going to do this one here. Let's still got our stars, 128 stars, but we got some text at the top, okay? Name of the program, I had it labeled as stars 1. We have a speedometer up here, and a version, okay? Now, the thing about this one here, if I use the arrow keys, the right and left arrow key, if I hit the left arrow key, the stars go the other direction. Hit the right arrow key, they go that way. So I can go back and forth. Okay, I can hit S to slow it down. You watch the speed meter at the top, you'll see that, and the stars slow down, or I can hit F to go fast, and it will put more bars up on top and go through pretty fast. And I can change the direction of them. So that's our, and Q Q to next. That's be our next attempt at our stars. Okay, and then after that, if I can scroll through here, after that one and a future one, we'll try this one here, where I guess you could call them stars. Looks more like snowflakes now going down. Okay, or we hit the up arrow and they'll go up. So we'll change it to up and down. We'll still have the speed, fast and slow, but we'll go up and down and quit again. And then last but not least, if I scroll through all these commands back here, we'll do star 3. You guessed it. We're going to put it all together. We can go forward, right and left. We can go up and down, all within one program, and change the speed. We can go real fast doing that and go up and go this direction. That. So that's what our goal is going to be after a few more lessons, and again, Q to quit. Okay? So let's go back to wherever we are here. There we go. Oh, that's what we were doing this time here. Okay, we were doing 120, a follow-up. Okay, and then I wanted to remind you that. So the other thing I got to do, and then when we're done with the stars going up and down and sideways and all that stuff there, which 2 or 3 or however many lessons it takes, because the next one, getting that text on the screen and the speed bars on there, because the speed bars are graphic, the other is text. So getting that, we're going to have a lot of new stuff to look at. We'll go on from there. Probably after that, most people will probably say, I think I've got enough to do what I feel like doing. We can do a lot of text stuff on a Color Computer 3, and I can do some graphical stuff on Color 3. And I'll be able to play with it, and I don't really care anymore. And others may want to go on. So I think future, and I don't know what we'll look at, but we'll look at, we've been using, again, BASIC to do H-screen 2 and that far, so there's lots more modes we can use, okay? And here's an example what we can do, look at with all this stuff, and all these, here's my graphics include file, okay, all these different registers. Here's our task 0 and task 1. Here's our MMU registers. Okay, here's video registers, borders, interrupts, fast interrupts, software interrupts. Here's the COCO 1 and 2 PIAs. Here's some other information on resolution of all the screens. And here's all the different screens can come. Here's the one that's highlighted here is H screen 2, 320 by 192 by 16. And maybe the next time we'll use 256 by 192 and 16 colors. I like that one there. So maybe we'll just try something with that. But we'll learn how to set all the stuff up. Go down here. We'll talk about the different ways of setting it up and getting different screens in and doing stuff like that. We'll look at that. Another thing we may want to do is look at the keyboard. Because we've been going over to BASIC, to get a character. Well, what if we've gotten all of BASIC complete out of there because we've got a lot of code? How would you read the keyboard on your own? We'll do a whole lesson on reading the keyboard and interpreting what's coming in. I don't know. There are probably a lot of other things we can do, but that's some things where we're headed for. We'll do some more graphic stuff, and we'll put together a sprite and put it on one of our graphics screen in the future too. So anyway, this is a short time. Next time we'll do more star stuff, put some text on the screen, putting some bars on the screen. So with that, I think that's going to be it. Like I said, this was going to be a real short one. So best of luck. Type that stuff in. It should work. I'll put something out there to download. I don't know what, because I don't know if I will or not. Because if you're going to type it in, it'll be out there. Anyway, have fun. We'll see you next time.